7 dinners, and all for around just £5 each to feed your family. And no, we are not talking beans on toast. This is 7 meals feeding a family of 4, coming in at around about the £35 mark for the whole week. Hi, I'm Samantha. This is the Budget Mum UK, and today I'm going to be in the kitchen and I'm going to be cooking 7 recipes that you can feed your family and keep it on a really good budget while still providing delicious, nutritious and healthy dinners. These are really good recipes because not only are they, tasting great, they're also using quite a lot of ingredients that you would probably find in your home anyway. So you might even be able to bring that price down. But also, these are really versatile. So if there's an ingredient that maybe you don't like, or there's something else that you prefer, whether you want to switch it up to a more plant-based option, or you want to add in extra vegetables because you've got a big bag of frozen veg in the freezer, you can do all of that with this. These are just some ideas and a guiding starting point for you with 7 fantastic recipes. So let's get stuck in to number 1. First up, this has got to be one of my new favorites. Not only does it taste absolutely delicious, but it is really easy and simple to do. So this is the slow cooker honey garlic chicken. It's all going in the slow cooker. It's one of those that you can throw on at the start of a day and then come home from work and it's already done for you. You can switch it out so you can make it as a main dish to whatever accompaniment you've got. I added mine with some rice and it was delicious, but you can absolutely use this with mash or potatoes or pasta even. It would be really nice with that. But let's get stuck in. First up, you're going to add your boneless, skinless chicken thighs. Make sure you cut off any large fat pieces and add them to the slow cooker bowl. Then you're going to add 3 tablespoons of runny honey, 3 tablespoons of light soy sauce, 4 tablespoons of ketchup, 3 cloves of garlic, either crushed or finely diced, half a teaspoon of dried ginger powder, and 1 teaspoon of corn flour mixed with 2 teaspoons of cold water just to thicken it. Pop the lid on and leave on low for 6 hours. It's delicious. Next up, we've got a really easy coconut chicken curry. And disclaimer, I was cooking this twice at the same time as filming this because I cooked my chicken version, but then I also cooked one using the Quorn chicken as well because my daughter likes to switch out hers for Quorn. So this was great for me and it was so easy to do. Again, it's another one pan kind of wonder. We just added some rice with it and it was, again, brilliant. But you could definitely add, some poppadoms and naan bread if you want to elevate this. So let's get stuck in. First, add a little bit of oil to your pan and then you're going to add in 1 finely diced onion. Give that a good stir until it starts to get nice and soft. Then add in 2 tablespoons of your favourite curry paste. This one was one I already had open and it was just tikka masala. Once that has been incorporated with all the onions, push that to one side. You're going to add in your protein. I've got chicken in mine. You don't have to. You can add whatever you like. And then give that a good stir until that is completely coated. Then I'm going to add in the 200 mils of chicken stock and 200 mils of coconut milk. And it is honestly just this simple. Pop the lid on and let it cook through until you're happy. I absolutely love this next one. You may have noticed the bit of a theme going on is that kind of weather, that season now, where I want to pull out my slow cooker, and this time I am going in big with this slow cooker recipe. It is barbecue chicken. Now you could also do this with pork, but I had some chicken in. You can switch out your chicken for whether you use the thighs or the breast or whatever you've got in. You could even do this with the frozen chicken pieces if you want to reduce the cost even more. But this one is another super simple one. Let's have a look. In a bowl, you're going to mix together all of your wet ingredients. So that is 3 tablespoons of barbecue sauce, any that you prefer, 1 tablespoon of tomato ketchup, 1 tablespoon of honey, or you could use brown sugar. Add in 1 teaspoon of smoked paprika and some salt and pepper, and then just combine it all together. Pop that to one side, and then you're just going to lightly grease your slow cooker. Add in 1 white onion, 1 diced red pepper, and I've got 3 small sweet potatoes in here. Cover it with that barbecue sauce that you made, and then add in your protein. I just had some chicken fillets that I had left over, so might as well use those up. 50 mils of the water, and then put it on high for about 4 hours. This next dish, I had to make extra portions because I made this dish. I blinked. My entire family had eaten it. There was no noodles left for me. I had to make myself some more noodles for this one. There was plenty of it to go around, but this was so easy to do. It's another one of those that you can elevate. And it's with really basic kitchen ingredients. So although it came in around the £5 mark, I already had quite a lot of things in and I repurposed different ingredients so we could do it again. And it was honestly chef's kiss, amazing. It is the sticky beef noodles. Again, you can switch this out for whatever main protein source you want for this. You don't even have to put any protein. You can just have it with the vegetables and noodles. So yeah, do with it as you like. But hopefully this will give you just a little bit of an insight. First up, you're going to add in your favourite noodles. The recommendation for this pack said 2 nests would serve 4 people. On reflection, I should have put at least 3 in there. Then you're going to get your beef on to cook. I've just gone for this 500 grams of minced beef. Once it's all broken up and cooked through, then you're going to add in your other ingredients. So I've got 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. I've got 2 tablespoons of runny honey, but you could do 1 tablespoon of runny honey, 1 sugar if you wanted to. I've got a tablespoon of ketchup as well, and then I've also added in a little bit of the garlic granules, but you could choose garlic granules or fresh garlic. I've got a teaspoon of garlic granules for mine. Give it a good mix all together, and then when you're happy that it's got a nice little shiny glaze on top of it and everything's fully coated, then you can go ahead and add in whatever vegetables you want. You could use frozen veg for this. I managed to get a whoopsie little tub of the fresh vegetables from a stir fry mix, so just made a little bit of a well and then added all these into it, then put the lid on and just let it steam until it had done its thing and everything was fully coated. Added in a little bit of water to help that steam rise as well. Then I've just wanted to elevate these noodles because noodles are great, but you can also just add a little bit something extra to them. Broke them up and added in some dark soy sauce. This helps give it a bit of a sheen, a bit of a glimmer and a shine. And then I've also put on some toasted sesame oil just because I had some. You don't have to do any of those things. You can leave it as it is, but honestly, it's just a little bit next level. Next up, we've got creamy sausage pasta. And again, this is another one that you can make as expensive or inexpensive as you like. So I use sausages that I've got on a whoopsie deal on an offer, but you can definitely make these, whatever you want them to do. You can make them more expensive sausages or you can do them with cheap ones. I actually doubled up on this recipe as well and made it with Quorn sausages for my daughter at the same time as filming this one. So I used proper sausages and I just literally pan fried the frozen Quorn sausages in advance with those, and then the rest of the ingredients we worked in the same way. But again, it's another versatile one you can definitely do. First of all, let's get that pasta on the boil so it can be cooked while we're doing the rest of it. It's about 300 grams of your preferred pasta and let it just simmer away. Then we're going to go ahead and de-skin these sausages. I just broke these ones down. These ones actually were quite a butter-based one. Didn't have any oil in the pat. They were quite a high-fat sausage, so didn't need any of those. Broke these down and then just put them to brown until I was happy with them. Next, I added 1 thinly sliced onion and 2 cloves of garlic, which I just finely sliced as well, and mix it all up until the onions were nice and soft. And then I added in 150 mils of the thin single cream and added in a tablespoon of tomato puree. Next, there was half a teaspoon of dried oregano. You can either add this in or keep this out, but give it a really good mix until you get this lovely orangey coloured mixture. Next, you're going to sprinkle in about 50 grams of your favourite cheddar cheese, just to add a little bit more depth to this. And then you're going to use some of that pasta water from your previously boiled pasta. About 50 mils should do, just to thin out the sauce. Add in your pasta, give it a good mix, and then serve. Absolutely delicious on its own, or why not add some garlic bread to it as well. Next, we've got thyme roasted chicken. This was super simple, but it looked really elevated, and it was just tasted really delicious, and it was just nice as a Sunday dinner alternative. Had a little bit more time, but it was such a quick and easy dish to do, so let's take a look. First up, grab your potatoes, turn them into wedges, add some oil. Then we've got some carrots, red pepper and red onions, but you can put in whatever you like. A little bit of oil and some thyme on those chicken breasts, and we're going to just put a bit of oil on the veg too. Pan fry the chicken breasts just so they're lightly covered. Transfer the chicken, once it's cooked, onto some of the roasted vegetables. It's going to go back in for another 10 minutes. Whilst it's doing its thing,
Put a little bit more thyme on that chicken and veg, and then add in some water and some chicken stock to make a bit of a glaze. Just takes this to another level. Just, it was so easy to do, honestly. Just as a disclaimer, this was actually made for 2 people, but you just double the amount of ingredients, and it still comes in at that £5 mark.
My final dish, and these 7, is my potato pot pie. This is a bit of a twist on the cottage pie, and it's just a different way of doing it. And yeah, it's another delicious one. It's a really hearty one. This is perfect on a nice autumnal day where you're just hiding from the wind and the rain.
So here's some basic ingredients that I use. So we're going to dice that carrot and onion and then just fry them in a little bit of oil until they're nice and soft. And then once that's done, I added in some frozen peas just to add a little bit more vegetables in there. Cut 4 potatoes and I thinly sliced them with the mandolin on the side of my cheese grater. And then once that was done, I just pan fried the beef and broke it down until it was all cooked and done and it's brown, and then mixed everything together. Laid it in this rather fancy looking dish and put those slices of potato on top. Super duper easy, really quick, and it's one of those that I could keep in the freezer as well.
So there you have it. 7 recipes for around about the £5 mark, which can be tweaked however you like them. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to try any of these dishes and which one was your favourite. Have yourself an amazing day, and I'll see you really soon.